The cold cobblestone ran over my fingers, and even as I closed my eyes to take in my environment, all I could hear was the thumping of my own heart. The air became thin the further I walked into the cave. A cold breeze passing over my face, my bare foot slipped, sliding over the slick stone. The moment I stopped was the moment I actually opened my eyes, and realized if I had took just another step forward, I would have fallen to my death. Looking over my shoulder, I heard nothing, as of course I couldn't see anything. Taking sharp breaths, sweat fell over my face, stinging my eyes. And yet, the moment I reached to rub my eyes, it did nothing. All I could see next to me were the spots flying over the darkness. I was never afraid of the darkness, but what lurked within it. I'm coming for you, he sang song. The goosebumps risen against my skin as I turned to look within the dark pit. Where is he? Where is he? Thudding grew louder than my ears. Hiss. I wasn't alone within the cave. It was me, the creature, and whatever was hissing. I got down on my knees, carefully lowering myself over the edge, and once my knees were dangling up within the abyss, I tried swinging back and forth. As my toes touched more rock, I dropped, landing on my knees. The shock sent me forward, grinding my teeth. Ow, ow, ow. Tears began flowing behind my eyes. My knees burnt, blood coated my tongue. You think you can run from me? He was above me. I heard him walk to the edge. Where are you hiding? He snarled. Pushing myself back, I covered my mouth and closed my eyes, breathing slowly through my nose as he started slumping above my head. You won't hide forever. The creature went to the edge and jumped. I watched him fall from where I once stood up. Down, the world around him became engulfed with light. My eyes grew accustomed to the darkness as I winced at the sunlight. The creature named Herobrine placed a torch where he had stood and teared forward into the shadows. Leaning back, I sighed heavily within the caves. Finally, I felt as though I had a moment to breathe. But I was wrong. Bright purple eyes stared at me, and I stared back. I attempted to turn my head away in time if it didn't work. The black and purple creature shot to me, and on my knees I darted in between his legs, and over the edge I went, tumbled down and over rocks, striking the edges with my sides, bouncing twice against the ground. I groaned, body aching, screaming in protest, begging me to stop. But I picked my head up and covered my left eye as it was bleeding profusely. I tried back, blinking it away, and I failed. Lying in the center of the light, I laid my head down on the dark ground. Within the pain haze, I watched as Herobrine came forward, tilting his head slowly as a sick grin split across his lips. I found him, he began to chuckle. Shaking my head, crimson stained the dirt underneath me. What? I whispered. My throat was dry, lips cracked, and my tongue swollen. I was so thirsty. So very thirsty. A trail of red came from behind Herobrine. His grin split into a sneer, his laughter with a crackle. Bright white eyes glared at me. His arms were behind his back, and he brought them forward. The shock poured over my numbness, filled my veins. Brown, messy hair covered the green eyes, his face covered with splotches of red. My husband's dead eyes stared at me with his mouth open when the silent scream. Scrambling to my feet, Herobrine chucked his head at my feet, and he laughed. And now I've found you. You're a little faster, character. He stepped forward. I backed up a step, and my hip bumped against the corner. Please stop, I cried, the soulless eyes staring at me. Please, stop! I haven't done anything to you. I haven't done anything. I glanced to my husband's decapitated head, whimpering. We both haven't done anything, I whispered. They've forgotten about me. They all have. I'll make sure they remember me. Bloodied hands reaching out for me as I shook my body, trembling. Please, please no! I cried. His eyes became bright and I saw darkness. Lifting my head, my temple throbbed, my body screamed in protest. Everything hurt, everything hollowed in pain. Opening my left eye, the only eye I can open, I was shrouded in darkness once more. I lay against the dirt floor, covered in grime and cold blood. When I opened my mouth to speak, teeth and coagulated blood smacked against the ground. I moved my shackled arm against my chest as I coughed hard enough to gag. The more I gagged, the more vomit rose at the back of my throat. As I took a deep breath, a rancid smell lingered in the air. That was all it took for me to projectile vomit on the ground. I heaved, gagged, and vomited again. I was dizzy, tired, and thirsty. The smell was making me dry heave all over again. Tears stung my one eye and my lungs were on fire. My nose dug into the dirt block, making everything was on fire. I couldn't breathe. All I could think about was my husband. All I dreamt about was his head rolling to me. And that monster. That damn monster, Herobrine. I tried getting up, but I couldn't get up from the waist. I couldn't feel anything from the waist down. I screamed all I could. No one will hear me. Why am I even trying? All I wanted to do was play that damn game, not this. I laid my head down onto the cold soil. The torch light flickered off the gravel, and my stomach was heavy within the vomit like coffee grounds. I was dying slowly. I had internal bleeding from the fall. This was it. Is this how I'm going to die? I tried pushing myself up. I was face to face with his feet, closing my eyes and lowering my head. I win. Herobrine chuckled. I will be remembered. I opened my mouth and screamed. The pain flooded back into my head. Bright static flew behind my eyes. I couldn't see any longer. I couldn't breathe. In that moment, I opened my eyes. I saw my husband lying on the couch, his throat slit with the Xbox controller within his hand. My body shook, staring at him. I saw myself in a puddle of some blood, and my face splattered and covered. My once blue eyes were a pale, catonic white. I will be